Daisy.
Hello.
Now, what's new in leasing?
Well, what's new in leasing? This week we have 7/21 Hill Road come up for lease. If you're looking for a little bit of a sea change, this one's in Dampier. So it's low maintenance. Oh,
She's fucked it up.
questions? Pop them below or contact me on my email or number. Okay, that was cringe. We have to do that again.
This week in leasing.
What is new in leasing this week? Okay, 7/21 Hill Road in Dampier. Okay, we have just listed 7/21 Dampier. If you're looking for a bit of a sea change, low maintenance 3x1, definitely come along.
You said 721 Dampier.
Bugger.
That's not the address.
Bugger. That's not the address.
7/21 Dampier. Hello and welcome to another episode of Real Talk. My name is Bryce Mitchell. I am the Sales and Marketing Assistant here at Pilbara Real Estate, and I am joined with my co-host, boss, and the Director of Pilbara Real Estate, Rob Slater. Say hello to the people, Rob.
G'day.
Here on Real Talk, we love to have a bit of fun. We love to cover how the market has changed each month. We like to talk about what has changed in the world of real estate, and we aim to educate you in all areas of the industry, from sales to leasing and from residential to commercial. We also love to hear what you guys have to say, so make sure you subscribe for the next episode and leave a comment below, or email me at ea@pre.com.au, or the email on screen for your chance to be featured in the next one. Let's get straight into our first segment, This Month in Real Estate. Here we talk about what's happened in the world of real estate with a few prepared topics that myself and Rob have talked about in the past month. Firstly, can you give us the current state of the market? How's the sales market?
Well, we sold 3 last week. That was good. And we sold 19 Mudlark. We got over asking on that. That was a very good result. Been on the market for just over 4 weeks. We tried at a higher price. The market wasn't quite there. Then we ended up selling it above where the second pricing was. But all in all, we did three sales last week. So about $2.5 million worth of real estate went under contract, which is good. Now, the rent market, the rent market's like fishing. It's on the bite, then it's off. It's on the bite, it's off. The rent market, we've got 2 MELAC. We had to drop the price $100, and that's sort of the state of the rent market. As much as it was really strong 3 months ago, it seems to have backed off a little bit, and that's what the market does. It can fluctuate, and that owner decided took our recommendation, knock $100 off. And then we've stimulated a lot more interest, which is good. We should have that leased within the week. We could have left it at 1,400, but the owner was quite receptive at the feedback. So that's what can happen. The market can fluctuate a little bit, as much as it's not all go. That sometimes where we think it is and where people want it to be is not always the case. So it can vary, but all in all, it's strong.
There's not really too much else to report on. Namely, because we have a big part of our episode today taken up by an interview with someone. So let's get into the next segment, which is Getting Real. This is our guest segment where we like to get the real facts from craft industry experts, friends of the show, and Pilbara real estate employees. Earlier this month, myself and Rob paid a visit to a local finance broker, Belinda from Northwest Finance, to ask her some questions about her line of work and how finance may differ here in the Pilbara. Let's roll a clip.
Coming to you live from our studio in Karantha, this is Getting Real. Real talk, real people, real facts.
actually haven't seen this photo.
Christmas time. We only see Rob at Christmas time. Oh, that's the welcoming committee in the office.
This is awesome.
We're going to get Bryce one of those things.
An actual clapper.
Yeah.
Take 500.
All right, well, it's nice to be in the office now. I actually really like this space. I'm still quite surprised at the size of everything. I thought it would be a lot smaller. I'm assuming you've been here before?
Yeah, I've been here lots of times. Belinda just reminded me, just mainly at Christmas when we're here to pick up our gifts.
Okay.
and deliver as
Yes.
well. It's reciprocal.
I think we'll jump straight in with my first question. Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and Northwest Finance?
I've been in Karratha about 32 years now.
Wow.
How long have you been here, Rob?
14.
Oh, boo you, double you.
14.
I am an ex-bank staff. I better probably not name which bank I'm out of. But I was there for 12 years and then decided to become a broker. I joined Northwest Finance. So the director of Northwest Finance was set up out of Broome. So he set it up about 6 years earlier. Again, knew him from that bank that we shall not name. And he was my manager at the time. So he encouraged me to leave the bank. So I left the bank in 2007, October 2007, and been a broker ever since.
Wow.
And it was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah, okay. So you're a real local then.
I would deem myself a local,
Yeah, no,
now
100%.
I would.
You would have seen Karratha change so much
Heaps.
then.
Yeah. Well, where we're sitting, I mean, obviously these weren't here. I mean, Baton stopped at Radley Street
Yeah.
back then.
Right.
Okay, so look, we actually wrote them down just because this is a very important segment. We got quite excited. So what is a minimum deposit a buyer needs to purchase in this area?
Okay, 2% is Key Start,
Yep.
which is generally, but that's only if you're your first home. So if you already own a house already, you can't go to Key Start and you have to live in it. A bank, 8%. Lovely mortgage insurance premium though, that you have to be.
Which bank at 8% would that be?
Only Bank West.
Okay.
yeah.
And that's all online now. Has that changed much?
I think it has. We've actually seen a few people want to refinance out of Bank West now that they haven't got a branch. Their rates are competitive, but I think because you got used to, I don't know how many people use the branch. Supposedly they closed them because people weren't using their branches. Apart from that, then you've got a 12%, and there's a fair few banks that will do 12%. Then you still got a few that are still stuck at the 30% requirement. Yeah. So a lot of people come in and go, I've been told I need 30%, and it's not true.
And do you find like they're loyal to a bank because they've been putting deposits in a bank since they've been 12 years old, and that's their loyalty?
I think now people are getting more astute and a bit smarter with that. I do think because brokers, believe it or not, write 77% of loans in Australia. Okay, so we have in some market share of where we help clients over the banks. The major banks would love to claw that back, because they pay us, so we're taking some of their profit share. Because clients don't pay us. It's probably the only industry where I work for you, but someone pays me to do it.
It's a pretty good deal, actually.
Yeah. So, and my job is to get you the loan. So, and which bank you choose will be a choice. So we do your homework for you. So a lot of people, when they go straight to their bank, I think those days are sort of gone, especially the younger people. They actually be more astute and will do a lot more homework.
Are you a .com generation? With that,
A .com generation? I've never... Gen Z.
Yeah. So they're more like even just, doing things online and doing like our portal update, portal information collection and stuff, there's a difference between generations. So the older generation would still like, I can remember when I was in the bank, people still had passbooks, and you would go, what's a passbook? What's a checkbook? These things he wouldn't have no idea about.
I remember in the early days.
Which day are we talking about?
2002.
Okay.
One of my mates bought a property, and he bought one before I did, and he was saying that the formula that the bank or the broker told him was whatever you earn, roughly 5 times that, was what they'll loan.
I actually think it would be higher than that now. The only reason, if you was doing that formula, not that I've ever done that formula. Reason I say that because your bank's assessment rates have gone higher. So you look at an interest rate, it's offered to you at 5.89%, but they're actually assessing it at 2.5% higher.
Yes.
Why back then the gap between the assessment rate and the rate you were offered was a lot smaller. So it was only 1.5%. And back then the focus wasn't on your HEM as much. So when it's your household living metric. So it's really a big focus from the bank point of view on where your money goes, your living expenses. So back then, it wasn't. There was a little bit less stringent, I guess. So that probably applied then, but it wouldn't apply now.
The name of the game is whenever they're filling out their assessment, to tone the entertainment aspect down to.
You can tone it down as much as you like, but the bank sees your bank statements.
Evolution.
Like often people come in and say, how do I save money? Go back to cash, because you'll notice that $50 coming out of your wallet where you don't notice when you tapped and kept walking. Still going to spend the money, but you actually have a thought process about getting it out, where tap and walking, you didn't even think about it, you just spent it and away you went. And that's the problem I think now, because with the metric, and we get your bank statements, I see where you tap everywhere. Everyone taps everywhere. So don't tell me your entertainment's only $500 a month when I can see that you actually have gone to, the bottle for $500 a month.
Something I wanted to ask you was, so as a young person and a first home buyer myself, a lot of the process of when it comes to buying a home does seem quite confusing and can seem quite stressful. Is there any advice you would give to a first home buyers when it comes time to sort out finance?
See someone first. I have appointments where I have no issue seeing anyone and telling them what direction they need to be in to get to A to B. But if you come in here 3 months down the track and they go, okay, you need to do this, this and this. Mm-hmm. Well, I could have told you that 3 months ago and you would have done it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people go, I haven't got, I'm not ready. Well, you don't know what to be ready for.
Yeah.
Okay, so it pays to see somebody and they'll tell you what you're eligible for, tell you what deposit requirements you need. Okay, then you walk away and you'll be surprised how many people come in and I tell them what they need and they're back very quickly, because now they know, they get their head down, they know what they need to get to.
So just come in and get the right facts and just understand it all first, before you even think about moving forward. Because
it's so complex now, like there's so many bank choices, there's so many variables that you can't read that. You need someone to tell you what you're eligible for. Yeah. You're as an individual, because what you're eligible for to somebody else's eligibility could be completely different.
No two people are the same.
No.
Yeah, no, of course.
No. So it pays to know up front, then you know what you're saving for.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You might need to bleep this one out and no bull.
No, don't do that. I haven't got time for that.
This was something that just sort of came up into my mind. What are some factors that could lead to someone's finance not being approved?
The biggest thing would be credit history. So your credit score is a big one, because these days the bank sees 2 years of your activity. So if you missed a credit card payment 18 months ago, we know about it. Why years ago, it wasn't retained. It wasn't actually information that was available to the banks back. They were only sort of seeing what was available to them with their own bank. It was limited information was on your credit file. Now we see 2 years worth of history. So with that 2 years history, if you missed a payment 18 months ago, please explain. If you missed, or if you're late, and this is the problem, there's cycles. So if you're 1 to 30 days late, 30 to 60, 60 to 90. So you might only be 1 day late because you were on holidays. But I can't see that. I can see a late payment. I can see one bad tick.
Yeah.
Okay?
And so it's in that 1 to 30 bracket.
At that 1 to 30, you might only been 1 day late, or you could have been 29 days late. That isn't measured. It is just you were late.
Yeah.
So the conduct, pay your credit card on time. don't overdraw your accounts. So like that gym membership that you don't even use anymore, it's coming out account that you
Okay,
forgot
that
about.
felt a bit targeted now.
No, it wasn't targeted. But do you know what I mean? If you do, and you don't use that account anymore, but that gym membership overdraws every month.
yeah.
Guess what? The bank's going to hate you for that.
Yeah.
You know, it is bad conduct. So that's mainly the thing, is your conduct of your accounts. And because we're more tap and go, I think why when you used to use cash, you wouldn't have overdrawn your accounts. Your conduct would have been, so a lot of people use credit cards now, but forget to pay it on time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's an accident, but an accident every month for 2 years will stop you getting a mortgage. Even applying for loans or applying inquiries, actually that's a big thing. Inquiry. So let's say you wanted a personal loan and you go, okay, well, I'll just punch it in on the computer. Oh, I'll be eligible for that one. You don't think you're applying, but you punched in enough information for them to do a credit check, for them to say you're eligible. So I always say to clients, don't punch anything in to see if you're eligible until you're applying. Get the facts. What's the interest rate? What's the loan term? What's the repayment? You haven't punched anything in yet. But the minute you go, am I eligible? There's a credit check. So number of credit access to your credit file. Because the more times your credit file is accessed, your credit score is coming down.
That goes a lot deeper than what I thought it would. Like
What-
you were
what I
talking,
was gonna answer.
yeah, like what you were saying about the like past transactions
Yeah.
and overdue stuff, like that makes sense. But
Yeah.
then just even seeing if you're eligible for loans, that's
Yeah.
that's really crazy.
And so a lot of people do credit card swapping for points and stuff. To get that credit card approved, they're doing a credit check. So that's another credit
That's a big one, isn't it?
check on your file.
How has the industry changed over 20 years?
Oh my God. Where do I start?
I can see a lot of filing,
Oh no, that's all my personal stuff. See, look at all my trophies.
a lot of trophies. That's really good, actually. You need them in reception.
So there is some out there. We only keep the current year out on the reception desk, and then when I get some more,
You've got a lot, haven't you?
yeah.
She's got too many trophies.
Crab pot weights. No.
No, except that there was one of them. I put it up the other end now. It fell down. So it smashed my computer. Lucky it wasn't my head.
Yeah, right. Well, let's rephrase it, I suppose. What's the biggest change in the last 20 years? There've been too many.
Yeah, best interest duty. Like when you do a loan, like we send you out a credit proposal explaining what you're doing, what you're signing, what your interest rates will be, our commissions even in there, everything's sort of put out there. So our recommendations and everything, we have to basically note why we recommended different products. So we're actually more governed about why we're recommending products. Back in the day, remember when your credit card, and you log on to your net bank and they'd go, do you want to increase your credit card? Tick this box.
I used to do it all the time. And
Yeah,
I
well
always
now
got
you can't do it anymore.
I always got rejected.
Well, they don't offer that anymore because it's not, because with best interest duty laws and rules, that it's not, you can't do that. They don't do that anymore. They don't automatically say increase your credit card for ticking this box. Okay. That's part of, doing the right thing by the client.
What's the go? What can you use rental income now? Because they keep changing the rules. It's like
The bank
stamp duty.
changes the rules all the time. It's the banks,
Yeah.
not anyone else. It's individual banks.
So can you use rental income if you are, as an owner-occupier moving into a property, as serviceability, or is it only for investment?
Investment. How are you moving? How are you paying rent in your own occupied property?
Well, I thought it was just a fail-safe. That it's like, okay, well, there's serviceability, but you've also got, if you were to rent it.
No. It's either you're doing an own occupied purchase or you're doing an investment purchase.
Yeah, right.
So if you're own occupied, you've got to be able to service on your own.
Yeah.
If it's an investment, you can include rent, but most banks cap the rent.
Dampier, Karratha, same.
No. Again, different banks, different policies for even Dampier to Karratha. Right. So sometimes, we were talking about it the other day because we're getting more and more accreditations with more and more banks because we're doing more self-managed super fund. So we've sort of there's some banks that we've gone a bit more into getting accreditations for that purpose. So it's like, oh my God, all these accreditations I've done to get these. So the amount of banks and the amount of bank niches and policies we have to learn is huge. So I'm starting to keep a folder, and it's like, oh, okay. And because you might be just gone self-employed, ABN for one day, still doable.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So there's different banks will do different things, but postcode is a big factor for us.
6714 is evil. Yeah.
Yes, it is a struggle.
Be the same as Newman, do you think?
Newman will be worse.
Don't say Newman's worse. Everyone in Newman hates us now. We've been saying some terrible things about
Well,
Newman.
no, I meant as in from a bank perspective, because you sort of, you're one sort of mining town. Any mining postcode in Australia has restrictions, but the Pilbara has the worst restrictions.
That'll be, the fourth time we've dissed Newman? Sorry, again, Newman.
We're going to go down to Newman and we're going to do some community service.
Well, I think that's all from us. It's been, lovely meeting you. Great to have a chat.
Yeah, thanks, Belinda. Really appreciate
That's
you
all right.
coming in and giving us some knowledge.
Well, thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
It was good chatting with Belinda. Yeah.
Look, I mean, that was quite good. Was Kim better? It's hard to say because Kim's already making comments. I think he made a comment that they should get rid of me and just have Bryce. So
See, he started out as our number one fan, but he might be our number one hater.
Kim, you've got a Facebook page as well, mate, and I'd have to start reciprocating some of those comments. So
It was good chatting with Belinda. I'm still surprised at how big her office was. I don't know, I just had it in my mind that it was this really small, just like a normal home office.
it's great. She can do all-nighters in there,
She gave some really good advice, particularly just for people who don't know the process of getting their finance, or how do I do this, where do I go for the loan. I think that was quite important. That was something I was really hoping to get out of the conversation. We definitely got some really good advice from her.
And you've got to go through a broker. Brokers have got access to all the products. And a lot of people seem to be loyal to a bank because they deposited money into that account since they were kids. But the bank's not loyal to them. If you're just someone that's putting money in the bank, you're a D-grade client. You need more debt. Yeah. And the more debt you have, the more... the bank takes notice of you.
Yeah, we always recommend to anyone that going through a finance broker is just the way to go.
But it's got to be a finance broker that understands the area, because we've got one at the moment, which is from over east, and we've just had a finance decline. And it's a 6714 postcode. The lending criteria is different, and brokers and people need to understand that. So get someone that understands the area.
Even just a local broker like Belinda, we love working with her. She's easy to work with. She's a great person. We would 100% recommend her. I'd just like to thank everyone for watching. If you are new here, please subscribe to us here on YouTube. Follow us on all the links on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Please comment all your questions on Facebook, Instagram, or right here on YouTube, or email me at ea@pre.com.au, or the email that's on screen now.
And if anyone wants to come in and sit down and have a chat, and whether it's on film or not, we're open. We're open.
Yeah, email us. Again, that email, ea@pre.com.au. If you're someone who's a local business owner, if you think, I have some insight that I'd like to give these guys about housing or about the Karratha area, let us know. I mean, we'd probably love to have you on.
We are going to do a road trip before the end of this year to Newman.
It might be the Christmas special.
I want to check out the Purple Pub. I'm pretty sure it's called the Purple Pub.
Well, on that note, we'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Thanks for a real talk, Rob.
Good on you, mate.